You're watching the ACC Digital Network, brought to you by Ruby Tuesday. 21-19, the final at BB&T Field. ULM beats Wake Forest in the first ever meeting between the two schools with Brian Stan, West Durham. Interesting ball game. Wake trying to bounce back after the disappointing loss at Boston College, and ULM trying to capture some of the momentum they had a year ago as well.
And they rode that momentum. They moved the ball effectively, especially in the second half, but they came right out of the gate in the first quarter and did really well. And Wake Forest came into this game saying we cannot make the mental errors that cost us. And here we see Colton Browning on the first drive of the game. Very athletic play. Was going to run, toss up to Ciano, and Tanner Price and Wake Forest responding. There's Orville Reynolds beating the defense deep, coming in for 6, and we thought we were going to see a different Wake Forest offense, but they were a no-show the rest of the first half, and here's ULM scoring right before halftime and gaining the momentum. In the second half, though, it was all the offense of ULM, moving the ball effectively. Here's that bubble screen that they ran about 20 times today. A rushing touchdown from Reynolds, however, called back, and Wake Forest failed to take advantage of several opportunities in the second half, so ULM has to settle for a field goal, but nope, bounces off the post. And still, despite that, Wake Forest offense cannot move the football and take advantage.
Well, it really comes down to an interesting scenario. About 2 minutes left. The Deacons have used all their timeouts, and the veteran leadership of Tanner Price at quarterback and Michael Campanaro has to guide the Deacons for the chance to win.
You know, and they did. They orchestrated a very nice drive, and again, they depended on Michael Campanaro to do so. Still could not believe how open he was on a couple of these throws, but Tanner Price and Michael Campanaro doing a nice job at getting out of bounds, moving downfield, and it set up an opportunity for right here. Tanner Price goes deep and finds Orville Reynolds again. Big game for Orville Reynolds, and here's a two-point conversion. Tanner Price extends it with his feet, gets the guy he wants, and Michael Campanaro just can't come up with it. Now, a lot of people are focusing on that final play there where Campanaro can't make the catch, but ultimately, it was the lack of production by Wake Forest offense in that second half. They ran very few plays. Time of possession was dominated by ULM today.
21-19, the final at BB&T Field, and you're watching the ACC Digital Network, brought to you by Ruby Tuesday.